Let's do a little knife training today. Grab a training knife. I've taught these drills before with the stick, but let's go over them with the knife. And we're gonna take a look at them both in the forward grip or sock and the reverse grip or pikal. First strikes up is our X strike or our downward X. We're gonna strike an angle 1, strike an angle 2. So we're gonna cut when we're in this forward grip right here. Now, a couple variations here. You can do large X's, just like this, from your full chamber positions. You can also shorten the X, keeping it out in front of you. So a little bit more coverage, surface coverage, and power with the big X, and more speed and center line control with the small X. But you want to mix it up, give it a go, change it up, working on the X. Our second drill is the plus. We're gonna strike the horizontal and then a vertical. Strike on a horizontal and then a vertical. So basically, you're going to slash a big plus right in front of you. Now you can also tighten this up. Horizontal, vertical, horizontal, vertical. So make sure you're working with different sizes in all these strikes. Our third drill is the upward figure 8. This is where we're slashing upwards on these ascending strikes. And we call this one the angle 3 and the backhand the angle 4. Again, same thing that we did on the previous ones. We have our large figure 8 and we have our short figure 8. You want to make sure that you can operate both. Okay? Both of them have their place. Strike them at different elevations. You can strike low, you can strike high. So be experimentative, play around with it, work some figure 8s. Our fourth drill is circular strikes. Now our 3 previous drills took us through the 3 basic angles of striking, our diagonals, our horizontals, and our verticals. The circular energy allows us to continue a chain of strikes, but we can do this on any of those 3 angles. So for some examples here, we can strike on our horizontal, but work on a circular motion just like this. And this is on the forehand side, so we can also repeat this on the backhand side. Just working horizontals. Of course, we could change the elevation as well. We can work on our vertical strikes, and we have large circles, we have smaller circles. Okay, we can work on our backhand circular strikes. Again, little circles, larger circles. And of course, we can work on the diagonals. Now look at this. We can go all the way around the head. Sometimes that's needed. Or we can stay in front of the body. Sometimes that's needed. So basically, when we're working the circles, explore all the different ways that you can make circles with your weapons. Once you've worked all these drills individually, then what you want to do is combine them into a flow. So we have our X, into our plus, into our figure 8, into our circular strikes, and then we can go back into that X. And we can mix up the pattern as well. It doesn't always have to be in that same pattern. Let's take a look at some examples of these movements on the pikal grip or the reverse grip. Whenever we're in the call grip here, you want to make sure that your thumb caps the knife. Whether you're holding that blade edge on the outside or the inside, you want to make sure your thumb caps the knife, especially if you don't have a hand guard there, to stop your hand from slipping down, as you're thrusting something. Because when we're in the call grip, right, this grip is all about power, and there's going to be a lot of thrusts. So as we come into our figure eight, our downward X, right, you see how now we're thrusting. Now we could flip this over and slash as well. But more naturally, we're probably going to be thrusting here. Again, this could be large movements for power and clearing. This could be tight movements for speed. And then we have our plus. We could be slashing into the thrust, slashing into the thrust. Maybe we are thrusting in on those horizontals. Remember that you can change your elevation of your strikes as well. So play around with some of your pluses. You can also come upward on the vertical as well, right there. And of course, we have our upward figure eight as well. Again, we're gonna be working on those cuts primarily, but we could switch this to the thrusts as well. Or back to the cuts. You can cut on one side, thrust on the other. Cut and thrust, cut and thrust. You could thrust and cut, thrust and cut. So you have to explore the different variations. Might be able to cut higher or thrust higher. Get the mechanics going. See how my hips and shoulders are rotating with the strikes. And then of course we have our circular energies. We can work on that vertical. Large circles, little circles, backhand. Okay, maybe upward. Horizontal, diagonal. And start to explore the different circular energies that you can work on the knife in the reverse grip. Just like we did on the forward grip, we want to make sure that we can start mixing it up once we spent some time individually with these drills. Starting on that X, going into the plus, into that figure eight, working our circular strikes. Okay, and just play around with it with the drill that we call carenza, which is basically like free flow, solitary free flow, or shadow boxing with your weapon. All right, so there you got it. A couple of knife drills that are going to help to improve your knife handling skills and up your confidence in your kali flow in the knife portion of this art. You can shadow the training just like we did right here in that more carenza or shadow boxing type of fashion. You can also take all these techniques to a heavy bag, a tire, some sort of striking object, so you can start working some impact training as well. Hit the thumbs up for the knife, and if you want to continue your knife training, I have a link below to my complete knife fighting course with a 50% off discount as well. I'm gonna get on with my hike within these gorgeous springs here. I'll catch you back here next time.